Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, KRS1 was talking about, some of the great minds, man. And how the greater your mind, the more dumber we are. Or the more cowardly we are, from what he said. And then you got Nick Cannon saying, are we for sale as the Negro race, the Aboriginal Negro race of America? Are we for sale? But when you look at these three statements, cowardly, dumb, and for sale, well, I know we ain't dumb. We's a very, very intelligent people. You best to believe that. We done made some of the most inventions in America and for the world. They just won't show you. We are the progenitors of culture around the world. They just don't market it. They steal it. And they market it as themselves. That's just the reality, but I digress. When you look at wealth in a system of hatred for black people, or Aboriginal Negroes of America, as I say, wealth is based off of how much you don't associate yourself with the class of people that are being trodden down on, that are set up for demise, set up for destruction. And that's our people. And as you continue to go to college, these schools, institutions, universities, religious unions, to be taught by those who invaded us and Holocaust our people, they're not going to put you in any platforms or pay you any money to help bring justice to our people. So in turn, if you get it educated here and understand what has happened to us on our own land, because we definitely are the true indigenous Americans, they won't tell you that either. Copper-colored Indians, they won't tell you nothing about that stuff, but they'll call you colored and drop the copper and drop the Indian, no doubt. But that goes back into history. You can look it up yourself. Once again, I digress. So with that stated, they're not going to pay you to demonize them from nowhere. And you got to know that. So the question is you willing to sell out babies? Is you willing to sell out children that look like you, that ain't from your own household, but are still babies in your community, to see them struggling with nothing, to see them being preyed on from a system that mass incarcerate them for having lack of resources and opportunity? Because if you are, then America is the place to be. Why? Because at the end of the day, that's what they do here in America. That's what it's about. It's about keeping our people struck down and demonized under a strong cultural hatred that we've been under for over 600 years. And yes, it's a cultural hatred. Why? Because you can't hate a people and be racist to a people. Racism means being able to control the resources of that people, the political outlook of that people. Racism. You can't be that and do it for 600 years and then turn around and say it ain't your culture. Oh, it's totally your culture. That's what it's about. That's why you hold on to it so true. And this is where we at with our own people. They so spliced from that field to that house brother and sister, to where the house brothers and sisters, like the Django, the movie with Samuel Jackson playing his real life role, that's how they see things. That's why he was so angry in the movie at Jamie Foxx coming in on the horse. Because we've been spliced that way, so that way a group of our people can always be sellouts, always choose the dollar over a baby. That's why you got Jeffrey Epstein Islands and the secret societies and the secret oath takers and the Illuminati and all that. Because you got real satanic, demonic worshipers who are nullified through the trials and tribulations of what they put you through to be wealthy, similar to that movie Him. Similar to that movie Him. You best to believe that shit. And it's the basis of nullifying you so that way you don't have no care for the rest of the world. For the rest of the babies that's out here struggling, starving, under bridges, homeless, sickly, you name it. It's all a profit to them. That's it. Profit, profit, profit. Everybody else, the hell with them. And that's the way they see things. And that's why society is the way it is and our communities look the way they are, because our people done sided against us, acting like they for us and ready to represent us when they on these TV screens, when they in front of the microphone. Man, that's acting. That's entertainment. That's them doing a job in the sense of what song and dancing you is all about, in order to rock your brain to sleep, to get your votes and stuff, to put them in office as if they're going to do something for you. Because at the end of the day, once they away from the cameras, once they're away from the screens, then they back to normal everyday business like they always do. And that's against you. May it look like you or not. This is how this system is set up. Anti-black hatred. And that's just what it is. And we got to call it out, even when it's our people chucking and jiving for the dollar. We got many of them. That's why we had a president that looked like us, but not from our lineage, but didn't do really nothing for our people. Our communities didn't get nothing. There was no grants, loans allocated solely for Aboriginal Negroes to open up small businesses in our community. But I bet you if you look up and look around and research for yourself, you'll find that they got those type of loans and grants for other nations to open up businesses in your community solely for them. Go figure. But this is the game that we're playing. It's a blood game, guys. A race that is set up for your destruction, for your children and your grandchildren's destruction. And this is why we need reparations. And any one of them that talk about studying reparations already sold you out. And any of them that's not speaking on reparations already sold you out. Why? Because you owe, by law, justice for crimes against humanity, which is money and land given back to you for hundreds of years of destroying your communities and massacre, genocide, and holocausting your people. That's all you should stand on. The wealth that they owe you, that they got, that they holding from you, is your bills that you got to pay every single day that you got on your back. And you best to believe they're taxing you 100% for those bills, but they owe you money. The states all around here owe you money. The government owe you money. The federal government owe you money, but you ain't going push to get the money that's owed to you legally by their laws, in the world laws for crimes against humanity. Then you're supposed to struggle. You got to hold them to the fire. They're going to definitely hold you and your children to the fire. That's what mass incarceration all about. Not about us committing violent crimes. It's about us trying to do survival work in the form of cells based off of being the last to get hired and the first to get fired. This is how their system is set up. But if you don't do nothing about it, then ain't nobody else is. You got to come together. You got to do what Martin Luther King said and go to Washington and get that check. Or you can let all those folks that really was your real superheroes, your real revolutionaries who done gave their lives for you, roll over in their grave. Because the rest of them are all up there that's supposed to be representatives. They're appointed representatives only because they don't bring no type of trauma or fear or no type of pushback to Whitey up there. They will not move nothing for you. They only there as a image, a symbol, as if you made it, but you ain't make it. You ain't go nowhere. You in ghetto slums and hoods. They the ones getting paid off of your votes in your back to keep you right where you at. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.